Crash! Secure phone hits concrete floor, plastic exploding across Pacific Fleet War Room. Lieutenant Commander Brooks Halden towers over Jessica Anderson, face red with rage. What the hell is admin personnel doing with top secret device? Get out, he roars, jabbing finger toward door. Coffee girls don't belong in classified briefings. 15 officers freeze, conversations dying mid-sentence. Jessica doesn't flinch, doesn't step back. Blood trickles from cut on palm where phone's edge sliced skin. Device is authorized, sir, she says quietly, voice steady as stone. Authorized, Halden explodes. By who? Show me orders. Show me clearance. He grabs her arm, fingers digging deep. Security violation. I'm having you arrested. Senior Chief Walker steps forward. Brooks, maybe we should... No! Halden shoves Jessica backward. She hits tactical display hard enough for rattling maps. She's lying! Admin clerks don't carry encrypted gear. His voice echoes off reinforced walls like gunshot. Jessica straightens slowly, wiping blood on uniform. No tears, no anger, no fear, just waiting. Breathing in controlled patterns like someone trained for much worse than workplace bullying. The last chance, Halden snarls, moving closer. Walk out now or I'll drag you out myself. But Jessica Anderson doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares at him with eyes that have seen things nobody in this room would believe, because they have absolutely no idea who they're really dealing with. The Pacific Fleet War Room stretches 40 feet in each direction. Reinforced concrete walls lined with classified displays showing real-time satellite imagery from the South China Sea. Morning light filters through reinforced windows, casting harsh shadows across tactical planning stations. At 0800 hours on Tuesday morning, this space hosts the weekly Joint Operations Briefing, bringing together personnel from multiple commands. 15 witnesses pack the room, SEAL operators checking gear near tactical consoles, intelligence officers analyzing satellite feeds, aviation coordinators reviewing flight schedules, maintenance chiefs updating equipment status. All experienced military professionals who understand security protocols and recognize anomalies when they see them. Lieutenant Jessica Anderson stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, regulation Navy working uniform without insignia, blonde hair pulled back in perfect bun. According to service records, 28 years old, assigned to administrative support duties at Coronado Naval Base. To every observer, she appears unremarkable, a clerical worker who somehow wandered into warrior territory. But Senior Chief Petty Officer Marcus Walker shifts his weight uncomfortably. 22 years in the Navy teaching him to read situations and people. Something about Jessica's stillness bothers him, the way she breathes. 4 counts in through nose, 4 counts held, 4 counts out through mouth, 4 counts empty. That's not natural relaxation, that's combat breathing. Stress inoculation, training for high-pressure situations. Sir, Walker says carefully, maybe we should verify her authorization before making assumptions. Halden wheels on him. Verify? Look at her, Chief. She doesn't belong here. But Jessica's response comes without thinking. Bravo 7 Charlie requesting permission to maintain station. Over. Radio, call sign terminology, military aviation protocol. The words slip out automatically, muscle memory bypassing conscious thought. Administrative clerks don't use tactical communication procedures any more than civilians speak in military acronyms. Walker's eyes narrow. That call sign structure follows Special Operations Aviation Regiment protocols. He's heard similar codes during classified helicopter missions, insertions requiring precise coordination between aircrew and ground forces. Ma'am, Walker addresses Jessica directly, where did you learn that call sign format? Jessica realizes her mistake immediately. Training manual, Chief. Standard communication procedures. But the explanation falls flat. Training manuals don't create automatic responses that bypass conscious thought. What Jessica demonstrated came from hands-on experience, repetitive practice, professional competence developed through actual flight operations. Captain Richard Morrison enters through secured door, tablet in hand, looking harried. Executive Officer of Pacific Fleet Operations, responsible for coordinating activities across 7 different commands. He stops mid-stride, taking in tension crackling through the room. What's the situation here? Morrison demands. Sir, Halden points at Jessica, unauthorized personnel with classified equipment, security violation requiring immediate removal. Morrison's eyes narrow, studying Jessica with practiced assessment. Something doesn't fit. Her posture is too perfect. Military bearing comes from years of training, muscle memory drilled through repetition. Administrative clerks don't stand like infantry preparing for inspection. Identification, Morrison orders. Jessica produces military ID card, movements precise and controlled. Morrison examines it carefully, checking security features and embedded chips. Everything appears legitimate. Lieutenant Jessica Anderson, administrative support, secret clearance authorized, but the clearance level bothers him. Secret clearance for admin support seems excessive unless she has access to more sensitive material than her cover story suggests. Intelligence Officer Lieutenant Commander Sarah Davis emerges from secure communications booth, wireless headset around neck, expression troubled. 34 years old, 15 years analyzing threats for Pacific Fleet Command. Her job involves identifying anomalies that don't fit established patterns. Captain Morrison, sir, Davis approaches cautiously. I initiated standard database verification. We have inconsistencies. Every head turns toward her. The room goes quiet except for ventilation systems maintaining electromagnetic shielding. Inconsistencies how? Morrison asks. Davis glances at Jessica, then back to Morrison. Lieutenant Anderson's service record shows administrative assignment, but her personnel file contains gaps. 3 years of service history appear classified above my access level. Halden seizes the opening. Exactly my point. She's lying about her position, lying about her clearance. Security Non-Commissioned Officer Staff Sergeant Carlos Rodriguez enters carrying security scanner and verification terminal. 31 years old, 12 years military police experience. Morrison called him to resolve the situation through proper procedures. Sir, Rodriguez addresses Morrison, you requested security verification? Affirmative. Full scan on Lieutenant Anderson's equipment and credentials. Rodriguez approaches Jessica professionally. Standard security procedures, nothing personal. He begins electromagnetic scanning, checking for unauthorized recording devices. The scanner immediately alerts on her secure phone. Ma'am, I need to examine this device, Rodriguez says respectfully. Jessica hands over the phone without resistance. Rodriguez connects it to verification terminal, running encryption checks. The device shows military-grade security features, hardware encryption, biometric locks, satellite communication capability. Captain Morrison, Rodriguez reports, device shows level 7 encryption protocols. That's special access program classification, sir. The temperature drops 10 degrees. Level 7 encryption is reserved for the most sensitive intelligence operations, counterterrorism activities, special operations command, covert action programs. Administrative clerks don't carry level 7 devices any more than privates carry generals' eagles. If this injustice makes your blood boil like mine, smash that like button and hit subscribe. She's about to show them exactly who they're messing with, but first, hit that thanks button to support stories about real heroes. Maintenance Chief Petty Officer First Class Robert Thompson enters through service corridor, wiping grease from hands. 52 years old, 28 years maintaining everything from helicopter engines to electronic warfare systems. He's updating tactical displays with latest maintenance schedules. He stops cold when he sees Jessica. Something about her triggers recognition. Not her face, but something else. The way she holds herself, her stance, breathing pattern. He's seen that exact posture before, in hangars and flight lines, among people who spend lives around aircraft. I know that stance, Thompson says quietly. Know what stance? Morrison demands. Thompson studies Jessica more carefully, memory searching through years of working with aircrew. That's pilot posture, sir. Way she distributes weight, keeps hands ready. That's how helicopter pilots stand when they're thinking about aircraft systems. Halden laughs harshly. Pilot? Look at her record. Administrative support. She probably can't tell rotor from propeller. But Thompson's experience spans decades with every type of aircrew in Navy inventory. He knows the difference between passengers and pilots, between mechanics and aviators. Sir, Thompson addresses Jessica directly, what's startup sequence for MH-60 Black Hawk? Administrative personnel wouldn't know specific aviation procedures. Only qualified aircrew and maintenance technicians understand detailed startup sequences. Jessica's response comes automatically. APU start, engine oil pressure, N1 rotation, generator online, flight controls check, navigation systems initialization, communication verification, pre-flight complete, perfect sequence, exact terminology, professional precision that comes from repetition and training. The room goes silent. Thompson stares at her. "Ma'am, where did you learn MH60 procedures?" Jessica realizes her second mistake. Cover identity compromised by reflexive knowledge. Training manual, required reading for support personnel. But muscle memory doesn't come from manuals. What Jessica demonstrated came from hands-on experience, professional competence developed through actual flight operations. Base Executive Officer Captain Frank Morrison arrives with additional personnel. Not the briefing Morrison, but senior authority responding to security alert. Behind him, Intel Specialist Lieutenant Sarah Kim and Aviation Safety Officer Commander Michael Torres create additional pressure. "Situation report," Executive Morrison demands. "Sir," Captain Morrison explains, "Lieutenant Anderson shows equipment and knowledge inconsistent with administrative assignment. Multiple anomalies requiring investigation. Rodriguez continues security sweep. Electromagnetic scanner revealing additional irregularities." Jessica's watch shows aviation chronometer with GPS navigation. Her boots carry traces of JP-8 jet fuel. Her hands show calluses consistent with aircraft controls. "Captain Morrison," Rodriguez reports, "multiple indicators suggest aviation background inconsistent with administrative assignment." Davis pulls Morrison aside, voice dropping to confidential levels. "Sir, deeper background investigation triggered automatic security flag. Her file is being monitored by higher authority. The implications settle over the room. Monitored files indicate ongoing investigation or special operation. Someone with significant authority is tracking access to Jessica Anderson's records. But Jessica's behavioral patterns suggest professional experience that administrative assignment cannot explain. Her responses show competence that clerk training doesn't provide. Thompson approaches again, maintenance experience guiding assessment. "Ma'am, those scars on your hands, how did you get them?" Jessica glances down at palms, seeing what Thompson noticed. Small linear scars across knuckles and fingertips, consistent with mechanical injuries from sharp metal edges and hydraulic systems. Scars that come from working around aircraft under pressure. Maintenance work, part-time assignment during technical training. Partial truth. The scars are real, but context is classified. They came from emergency repairs under hostile fire, from keeping damaged aircraft operational when lives depended on mechanical competence. Rodriguez completes security sweep, discovering anomaly that changes everything. Hidden inside Jessica's uniform collar, nearly invisible unless specifically searched, he finds small fabric patch, military aviation insignia. "Captain Morrison," Rodriguez calls out, "I found something." He holds up patch for everyone to see, winged skull design with crossed sabers, surrounded by stars. Professional quality embroidery issued to operational units. Thompson recognizes it immediately. That's Special Operations Aviation Regiment insignia, 160 SOAR, Night Stalkers. The words hit the room like explosive charges. Special Operations Aviation Regiment represents elite of military helicopter operations. Most classified, most dangerous, most selective aviation unit in entire military structure. Their missions involve counterterrorism, special reconnaissance, personnel recovery in hostile territory. Administrative personnel don't carry Night Stalkers insignia any more than civilians carry Purple Hearts. Halden stares at Patch, face cycling through confusion and recognition and growing alarm. That's not possible. Night Stalkers don't do administrative assignments. They're all operational aircrew. But evidence speaks for itself. Jessica Anderson carries equipment, knowledge, physical indicators, and unit insignia, connecting her to Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Davis initiates discreet inquiry through Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command, seeking clarification without triggering additional security flags. Her request generates automatic response indicating matter is under review by higher authority. The response confirms Jessica Anderson represents ongoing operation rather than security violation. Special Access Program oversight suggests classified mission requiring cover identity and operational security measures. But local commanders lack need to know for operation details. Jessica's mission parameters remain compartmentalized at levels above their access authority. Walker steps forward, experience guiding instincts. Ma'am, if you're claiming special access protection, you need verification codes. We can't accept classified authority without authentication. Jessica nods, recognizing validity of request. She recites 16-digit authentication code, followed by timestamp and originating authority identifier. Code structure follows special access program protocols. Morrison considers options. Communication restrictions prevent verification, but operational security demands resolution. Briefing cannot proceed with unresolved security concerns. Davis approaches Morrison privately. Sir, recommend we continue briefing with security observation on Lieutenant Anderson. If she's authorized, we fulfill requirements. If not, we collect evidence while protecting classified information. Morrison chooses middle course. Briefing proceeds as scheduled. Rodriguez maintains security observation. Any attempt to photograph or record information will result in immediate intervention. The decision satisfies nobody, but represents best compromise given incomplete information. As briefing begins, Jessica observes without taking notes. Professional surveillance training teaches operators to collect information through observation rather than documentation that creates evidence. Halden provides SEAL team readiness assessment, detailing personnel status and equipment availability. His presentation includes helicopter insertion requirements and aviation support coordination. Jessica's attention sharpens when discussion involves aircraft operations. Thompson notices her reaction. Aviation personnel naturally focus when discussion involves helicopter procedures. Administrative support wouldn't show specialized interest unless they have professional connection to aviation activities. Next phase involves close coordination between surface and aviation assets, Halden continues, displaying tactical timeline. Helicopter insertion at 0200 hours, 40 minutes flight time, terrain challenges requiring night vision operations. Jessica's hand moves involuntarily, index finger tracing patterns against her leg. Thompson recognizes the movement immediately. She's mentally flying the approach, visualizing terrain and navigation requirements. That's muscle memory from actual flight experience, not theoretical knowledge. Davis completes intelligence assessment, providing enemy capability analysis for proposed operations. Her presentation includes detailed discussion of surface-to-air missile systems threatening aviation assets. Primary concern involves SAE-15 systems with 40-kilometer engagement range, Davis explains, highlighting threat zones. Aviation assets will require nap-of-Earth flight profiles to avoid radar detection. Jessica's breathing pattern changes slightly. 4 counts in, held, out, empty. Walker recognizes the shift. Combat breathing for stress management. Someone discussing theoretical threats wouldn't require stress inoculation techniques unless they have personal experience with similar situations. Rodriguez continues security observation, noting Jessica's physical reactions to briefing topics. Administrative personnel typically show general interest in briefings they attend for coordination purposes. Jessica displays focused attention on aviation-specific information while showing less interest in surface operations. Her knowledge pattern suggests specialized background rather than general support. Morrison moves to operational timeline, detailing coordination requirements between different branches and international partners. Complexity requires personnel with extensive experience in joint operations. Aviation insertion requires coordination with Australian Special Air Service and Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force assets, Morrison explains. Communication protocols must account for equipment compatibility during high-stress operations. Jessica nods almost imperceptibly, recognizing challenges Morrison describes. International operations create communication difficulties that only personnel with actual experience fully understand. Her reaction suggests familiarity with similar coordination challenges. The briefing continues for 90 minutes, covering operational planning, intelligence assessment, logistics coordination, and communication protocols. Jessica maintains professional attention without suspicious behavior. Her presence creates ongoing tension but doesn't disrupt planning. Thompson's maintenance perspective provides unique insight into Jessica's background inconsistencies. Aircraft maintenance requires understanding of multiple systems and their interaction during operations. Jessica's responses show systematic knowledge that comes from hands-on experience rather than classroom instruction. Aviation knowledge like that doesn't develop through administrative training. It requires extended exposure to aircraft operations, mechanical systems, and flight procedures that clerical personnel rarely encounter. As briefing concludes, Morrison faces decision that's been building since authorization crisis began. Proceed with investigation, release her pending clarification, or escalate to higher authority. Rodriguez approaches with security assessment. Captain Morrison, Lieutenant Anderson showed no suspicious behavior during briefing, no attempt to photograph or record classified information. However, knowledge reactions continue, suggesting aviation background inconsistent with assignment. Davis adds intelligence perspective. Sir, her security clearance and equipment authorization appear legitimate within available verification methods, but personnel file anomalies remain unexplained. Someone with higher authority is monitoring her records. Walker contributes operational assessment. Captain, her physical indicators and knowledge responses suggest special operations background. If she's really administrative support, she's most qualified clerk in Navy history. Thompson provides maintenance insight. Sir, she knows aviation procedures and displays operational muscle memory. That insignia patch shows wear patterns consistent with actual mission use. Morrison considers accumulated evidence and professional judgments. Jessica Anderson represents anomaly that doesn't fit standard categories. Her equipment and knowledge suggest classified background, but administrative assignment creates contradiction that normal procedures can't resolve. Lieutenant Anderson, Morrison addresses Jessica formally, your presence created security concerns requiring additional investigation. You will report to Pacific Fleet Security Office at 1400 hours for comprehensive interview. Understood, sir, Jessica replies. I will comply with all security requirements. Her response carries professional acceptance rather than concern or resistance. Someone with legitimate authorization would cooperate with security procedures. Morrison continues. All personnel are reminded that classified information discussed today is subject to standard security protocols. Discussion outside authorized channels constitutes security violation subject to court-martial. Standard reminder, but delivered with additional emphasis given the day's security concerns. As personnel file out, Thompson approaches Jessica one final time. Maintenance experience compels him to resolve lingering questions about her aviation background. Ma'am, he says quietly, I spent 28 years working around aircraft and aircrew. I know the difference between theoretical knowledge and operational experience. Whatever your assignment really involves, you've spent significant time around helicopters. Jessica meets his eyes steadily. Chief, I appreciate your professional assessment. Some questions can only be answered by higher authority. Thompson nods, recognizing professional deflection. Jessica Anderson carries secrets that security clearance and need-to-know principles protect from disclosure. Jessica exits War Room, leaving behind questions that proper investigation will eventually answer. Her encrypted phone has been returned, movement back to normal duties appears unrestricted, but security observation continues pending resolution. Walker remains troubled by instincts suggesting Jessica represents more than administrative assignment. 22 years of military experience created pattern recognition that identifies anomalies and threats. Jessica Anderson fits patterns associated with special operations personnel. Rodriguez completes incident report, documenting equipment found, knowledge displayed, and physical indicators observed during investigation. The report will be forwarded through intelligence channels for analysis by personnel with appropriate clearance levels. Davis initiates background investigation through authorized intelligence networks, seeking clarification of Jessica's assignment status and security clearance anomalies. Her initial queries trigger automatic security flags, confirming that Jessica Anderson's file is being monitored. Morrison reviews morning's events, considering lessons learned and procedural improvements for future security challenges. The incident highlighted weaknesses in current verification procedures and communication restrictions that prevented rapid resolution. But underlying questions remain unanswered. Who is Jessica Anderson really? What operation requires administrative cover story with special operations background? Why place her in classified briefing if her presence creates security risk? Answers lie beyond Morrison's clearance level, protected by classification systems designed to compartmentalize information and limit disclosure to personnel with specific need to know. As morning transitions to afternoon routine, Jessica Anderson returns to assigned duties in administrative support section. To casual observers, she appears exactly what her personnel file claims, junior officer handling clerical responsibilities. But Thompson's questions linger. Walker's instincts remain alert. Rodriguez's security concerns await resolution through proper channels. Because in military operations, appearance and reality often diverge in ways that only full investigation can reveal. Jessica Anderson represents an anomaly that professional security procedures are designed to identify and resolve before threats become actual compromise. The morning briefing concluded, but investigation is just beginning. Higher authority will determine whether Jessica Anderson represents authorized operation or sophisticated security violation. Until then, she remains under observation while carrying secrets that could change everything if revealed. Helicopter sounds echo across Coronado Naval Base as afternoon training operations commence. Distinctive whoop-whoop-whoop of rotor blades cutting through air creates background noise most personnel ignore as routine aviation activity. But Jessica Anderson stops mid-stride, head tilting as she identifies aircraft type and operational profile from sound alone. UH-60 Black Hawk, twin engine, approaching from northwest bearing, standard training flight profile. Assessment comes automatically. Muscle memory responding to audio cues that only experienced aircrew recognize with precision. But Jessica's reaction goes beyond simple identification. Her posture shifts subtly, weight distributing for stability as rotor wash approaches. Hand moves instinctively to secure loose items that downwash might scatter. Body position adjusts for wind patterns that helicopter operations create. These aren't conscious responses. They represent ingrained protective behaviors developed through extended exposure to aircraft operations in environments where helicopter downwash can scatter equipment or injure personnel. Senior Chief Walker observes Jessica's reaction from across courtyard. Her automatic ducking pattern when helicopter passes overhead confirms growing suspicion that she has extensive aviation background. Administrative clerks don't show conditioned responses to aircraft operations unless they've spent significant time around flight operations. Inside administrative support section, Jessica resumes assigned duties with professional competence that matches her cover story. Filing reports, updating personnel databases, coordinating logistics for upcoming training exercises. Standard clerical work performed efficiently and accurately. But Lieutenant Commander Davis continues background investigation through intelligence channels, discovering additional anomalies that deepen rather than resolve questions about Jessica's true assignment. Database queries reveal that Jessica Anderson's personnel file contains classified annexes requiring special access authorization. Her security clearance shows recent update from secret to top secret special compartmented information, an upgrade typically reserved for personnel assigned to highly sensitive intelligence operations. Administrative support rarely requires TS/SCI clearance unless assignment involves direct support to classified operations. Clearance upgrade suggests Jessica's role involves more than routine clerical duties, but specifics remain protected by compartmentalization protocols. Davis initiates discreet inquiry through Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command, seeking clarification of Jessica's assignment status without triggering additional security flags. Her request generates automatic response indicating matter is under review by higher authority and that additional information requires approval from Special Access Program Management. Response confirms Davis's suspicion that Jessica Anderson represents ongoing operation rather than simple administrative assignment. Special Access Program oversight suggests classified mission requiring cover identity and operational security measures that extend beyond normal personnel management. But response also confirms that local commanders lack need to know for operation details. Jessica's mission parameters remain compartmentalized at levels above Davis's access authority, creating information gap that prevents full understanding. Thompson returns to helicopter maintenance hangar, but Jessica's aviation knowledge continues troubling his professional instincts. During morning briefing, she demonstrated familiarity with specific procedures and terminology that comes only from hands-on experience with aircraft systems. Administrative personnel receive training on forms and procedures. They don't develop intuitive understanding of aviation operations that Jessica clearly possesses. Her knowledge suggests pilot training rather than clerical instruction. Thompson initiates discreet inquiry among maintenance personnel, seeking information about any administrative support assigned to aviation units during past 3 years. His investigation reveals no record of Jessica Anderson working around aircraft or receiving specialized training that would explain her aviation competence. Absence of documentation suggests either incomplete records or deliberately concealed assignment history. Both possibilities create security concerns that proper investigation should resolve. Rodriguez files security report through appropriate channels, documenting equipment found, knowledge displayed, and physical indicators observed during morning investigation. His report includes recommendation for enhanced background verification and continuous security observation, pending resolution of anomalies. Report generates automatic distribution to Pacific Fleet Security Office, Naval Criminal Investigative Service, and Special Access Program Security Management. Multiple organizations now have awareness of Jessica Anderson's status and questions surrounding her assignment, but investigation process operates within classification boundaries that limit information sharing and collaborative analysis. Each organization possesses partial information about Jessica's background and assignment, but compartmentalization prevents comprehensive assessment that might resolve contradictions. As afternoon progresses, Jessica maintains administrative duties while remaining aware that security observation continues. Professional surveillance training teaches operators to function normally while under scrutiny, completing assigned tasks without obvious concern about investigative activities. Her behavior shows professional competence consistent with administrative assignment, but underlying awareness suggests familiarity with security procedures and observation techniques that administrative personnel typically don't encounter. Walker maintains discreet observation, professional experience guiding assessment of Jessica's behavioral patterns. Her movement through administrative areas shows confidence and familiarity, suggesting extended assignment rather than recent arrival. She knows building layout, personnel relationships, and procedural requirements with detail that comes from weeks or months of daily operation. But physical indicators continue suggesting specialized training inconsistent with clerical assignment. Her posture, movement patterns, and situational awareness demonstrate conditioning typical of special operations personnel rather than administrative support. Contradiction between demonstrated competence and assigned role creates ongoing tension that formal investigation must resolve. Morrison reviews morning briefing events, considering operational security implications and command responsibilities. Jessica Anderson's presence created security concerns that followed proper procedures for resolution, but underlying questions about her assignment remain unanswered. His command responsibility includes ensuring operational security for classified activities while supporting authorized special operations that require cover identities and compartmentalized planning. Jessica's situation could represent either authorized operation requiring discretion or security violation requiring intervention. Without access to Special Access Program information, Morrison cannot determine which interpretation applies. His response must balance security concerns against operational support requirements while allowing higher authority to make classification determinations. Professional judgment suggests continued cautious approach. Document concerns, follow proper procedures, support investigation through appropriate channels while maintaining operational capability for ongoing missions. Did you catch that detail about the encrypted phone? Comment your theories. What do you think Jessica's real mission is? As afternoon training operations continue across Coronado Naval Base, Jessica Anderson remains under discreet observation while performing assigned administrative duties. Her presence creates ongoing questions about assignment authenticity and operational security that formal investigation will eventually resolve. But investigation operates within classification systems designed to compartmentalize information and protect operational details from disclosure to personnel lacking specific need to know. Full resolution may require involvement from Special Access Program Management and higher authority with comprehensive awareness of classified operations. Until then, Jessica Anderson continues her administrative assignment while carrying secrets that could change everything about Pacific Fleet's understanding of ongoing operations and security requirements. Helicopter sounds fade as aircraft complete training missions and return to base operations. But Jessica's reaction to aviation activity remains fresh in Walker's memory, another piece of evidence suggesting her background involves more than routine clerical duties. Professional security procedures will determine whether Jessica Anderson represents authorized operation or sophisticated violation. But questions raised during morning briefing highlight weaknesses in current verification procedures and communication restrictions that prevent rapid resolution of security anomalies. In military operations, ambiguity creates vulnerability. Jessica Anderson represents ambiguity that only comprehensive investigation and higher authority determination can resolve. Until then, she remains under observation while performing duties that may or may not represent her actual assignment and capabilities. At 1300 hours, emergency communication alert sounds through Pacific Fleet headquarters. Secure terminals display priority message, requiring immediate assembly of all personnel present during morning briefing. Morrison receives direct order from Admiral James Morrison, no relation despite shared surname, Commander Pacific Fleet Operations. Message carries classification level above Morrison's normal access and requires immediate compliance without discussion or delay. Emergency assembly in Pacific Fleet War Room at 1330 hours. All personnel who attended morning briefing must report immediately. No communication with external sources permitted. Security alert level elevated to highest peacetime classification. Urgency suggests major development in Jessica Anderson investigation or operational crisis requiring immediate command attention. Morrison orders all relevant personnel to assemble as directed, while maintaining communication restrictions until situation is resolved. Walker, Thompson, Rodriguez, Davis, and Halden receive immediate notification to report to War Room. Jessica Anderson receives separate communication, directing her to remain in administrative section pending further instruction. Separation suggests command decision to isolate Jessica from group assessment or protect ongoing operation from exposure during personnel briefing. At 1330 hours precisely, Pacific Fleet War Room fills with senior officers whose presence indicates crisis-level operational significance. 6 admirals enter in formation that establishes immediate command authority and operational priority above normal base command structure. Admiral James Morrison, Commander Pacific Fleet Operations, 3 silver stars reflecting overhead lighting. Admiral Patricia Reeves, Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command, 2 silver stars and expression, suggesting knowledge of classified information that changes everything. Admiral David Chen, Special Operations Command Pacific, 2 silver stars and bearing indicating special warfare expertise. Admiral Rebecca Williams, Naval Special Warfare Command, 2 silver stars and experience with classified personnel operations. Admiral Carlos Torres, Pacific Fleet Personnel Management, 2 silver stars and responsibility for Special Access Program Administration. Admiral Jonathan Cross, Pacific Fleet Security, 2 silver stars and authority for investigating security violations. Assembly of 6 flag officers for personnel investigation indicates operational significance far beyond simple security violation. These commanders don't gather for administrative problems or routine clearance issues. Their presence suggests Jessica Anderson represents major classified operation or security crisis requiring highest level attention. Morrison and his personnel snap to attention as senior officers take positions around War Room. Formal atmosphere indicates official proceedings rather than discussion or consultation. Admiral Morrison addresses assembly. Gentlemen, this gathering concerns security investigation initiated during this morning's classified briefing. Lieutenant Jessica Anderson's presence created questions about authorization and assignment authenticity that require resolution at classification levels above local command authority. Admiral Reeves steps forward. Commander Morrison, your security investigation revealed operational details that trigger Special Access Program protocols. Lieutenant Anderson's assignment involves classified activities that require immediate damage assessment and operational security review. Confirmation that Jessica represents Special Access Program operation creates immediate understanding that morning security concerns involved authorized personnel rather than violation. But damage assessment requirement suggests operational compromise that threatens mission success and personnel security. Admiral Chen continues. Investigation revealed that Lieutenant Anderson's cover identity was compromised through normal security procedures. Multiple personnel independently identified inconsistencies that could expose ongoing classified operation if not properly contained. The revelation creates crisis of operational security versus personnel protection. Jessica's mission requires cover identity, but security investigation threatens exposure that could compromise mission objectives and endanger personnel involved in classified activities. Walker realizes implications immediately. His instincts about Jessica's special operations background were correct, but his investigation contributed to operational compromise that threatens mission success. Professional security procedures designed to protect classified operations inadvertently exposed the very activities they were meant to protect. Thompson understands that his maintenance expertise correctly identified Jessica's aviation background, but his inquiry triggered security alerts that revealed ongoing operation to potential threats. His attempt to verify suspicions created vulnerability that operational security was designed to prevent. Rodriguez recognizes that his security investigation followed proper procedures but generated documentation that exposes classified personnel and operational details. Standard security measures created permanent record of Jessica's true capabilities and assignment. Davis realizes her intelligence investigation accessed classification systems that revealed Jessica's special access program status to unauthorized personnel. Her background verification exposed operational compartmentalization that should have remained protected. Admiral Williams addresses operational crisis directly. Lieutenant Anderson's mission involves investigation of security compromise within Pacific Fleet aviation operations. Her administrative cover provided access to personnel and facilities where suspected violations were occurring. Revelation reframes everything that occurred during morning briefing. Jessica wasn't security risk requiring investigation. She was investigator whose cover identity was compromised by security procedures designed to identify exactly the kind of threats she was investigating. Admiral Torres continues, security investigation revealed that operational cover was insufficient to withstand scrutiny from experienced military personnel. Lieutenant Anderson's specialized knowledge and physical indicators created suspicions that proper investigation would inevitably confirm. Assessment indicates fundamental problem with cover identity design rather than Jessica's operational performance. Professional military personnel possess expertise that makes deception difficult when specialized knowledge appears in inappropriate contexts. Admiral Cross provides security assessment. Operational compromise requires immediate damage assessment and mission parameter adjustment. Lieutenant Anderson's identity exposure threatens ongoing investigation and personnel security for authorized operation. But even as admirals discuss operational crisis, emergency communication alert interrupts proceedings. Secure terminal displays priority message that changes everything about current situation and Jessica Anderson's true role. Alert signal indicates imminent threat requiring immediate operational response, Admiral Morrison announces. All personnel will remain in secured area pending resolution. Security blast doors activate, sealing war room from external access. Emergency lighting engages, creating harsh illumination designed for crisis operations. Communication systems shift to highest classification protocols, indicating threat level that requires maximum operational security. Through secure communication channels, Admiral Reeves receives real-time intelligence indicating hostile action against Pacific Fleet facilities. Foreign intelligence operatives have initiated operation to compromise classified information through coordinated attack on personnel and communication systems. Gentlemen, Admiral Morrison announces grimly, we are under active attack by foreign intelligence services. Lieutenant Anderson's mission was designed to identify insider threats that enabled this operation. Her investigation revealed security compromise that we must address immediately. Revelation transforms Jessica Anderson from potential security violation to essential operational asset. Her investigation identified vulnerabilities that hostile forces are now exploiting for coordinated attack on Pacific Fleet operations. Walker realizes that his suspicions about Jessica were correct for wrong reasons. She demonstrated special operations capability because she was conducting special operations. Her presence in classified briefing wasn't security violation, but authorized investigation of security threats that are now active. Thompson understands that Jessica's aviation knowledge reflects genuine expertise required for investigating threats to aviation operations. Her familiarity with helicopter procedures and maintenance indicators came from professional competence needed for mission success. Rodriguez recognizes that Jessica's equipment and clearance authorization were legitimate elements of ongoing investigation, rather than suspicious anomalies requiring intervention. His security procedures inadvertently exposed authorized operation while failing to identify actual threats. Davis realizes that Jessica's classification anomalies reflected operational requirements for accessing information needed to investigate security compromise. Her Special Access Program status provided necessary tools for conducting classified investigation. Emergency communication indicates that hostile operatives have targeted personnel who participated in Jessica Anderson investigation, suggesting intelligence about operational compromise reached enemy handlers. Security investigation inadvertently provided intelligence that enabled hostile action against ongoing operation. Admiral Chen makes crucial operational decision. Operational security requires immediate contact with Lieutenant Anderson. Her investigation identified threat network that is now active. We need her intelligence assessment for coordinated response. Speaking of secure communications, today's military relies on encrypted satellite systems similar to advanced smartphone technology we use daily for personal security and data protection. But communication with Jessica reveals additional crisis. She is not responding to secure communication attempts, and her administrative section location shows signs of hostile surveillance. Enemy operatives have identified her as key investigative asset and are attempting to compromise or eliminate her before she can provide crucial intelligence. Admiral Williams orders immediate security response. All personnel will proceed to administrative section for emergency extraction of Lieutenant Anderson. Hostile forces must not be allowed to compromise ongoing investigation or threaten authorized personnel. The 6 admirals and briefing personnel move through secure corridors toward administrative building, emergency protocols providing armed escort and communication coordination for crisis response. Time pressure increases as hostile surveillance indicators suggest immediate threat to Jessica's security. Arriving at administrative support section, security team discovers evidence of forced entry and signs of struggle. Jessica's workstation shows indication of hasty evacuation, but her location remains unknown. Hostile operatives have successfully identified and targeted the investigator, whose mission was designed to protect Pacific Fleet operations. Admiral Morrison makes command decision that operational crisis requires full disclosure of Jessica Anderson's true assignment and capabilities. Cover identity protection becomes secondary to mission success and personnel recovery. Lieutenant Jessica Anderson is actually Chief Warrant Officer 5. Jessica Anderson, Special Operations Aviation Regiment, assigned to investigate security compromise within Pacific Fleet aviation operations. Her administrative cover was designed to provide access to suspected insider threats. Revelation confirms every suspicion that morning investigation raised, while explaining apparent contradictions between assignment and capability. Jessica Anderson represents most elite level of military aviation operations, conducting investigation of security threats that threaten national security. Walker realizes that his instincts correctly identified special operations background, but operational security prevented confirmation until crisis forced disclosure. Professional recognition of specialized training was accurate assessment rather than security concern. Thompson understands that his maintenance expertise correctly identified aviation competence that reflected Jessica's actual profession as special operations pilot. Her knowledge came from years of professional experience rather than theoretical study. Rodriguez recognizes that his security investigation followed proper procedures but failed to identify operational protection that classified assignment required. Standard security measures were insufficient for Special Access Program personnel. Davis realizes that her intelligence investigation accessed legitimate classification information that operational security was designed to protect. Jessica's clearance and assignment reflected authorized Special Access Program status. Emergency communication provides location intelligence indicating Jessica's position and immediate threat status. Hostile surveillance identified her as priority target, and enemy operatives are attempting to compromise her before extraction can occur. Admiral Chen coordinates immediate rescue operation utilizing assets from Special Operations Command Pacific. Jessica's location requires professional extraction by personnel with appropriate capabilities and operational authority. But rescue mission reveals additional operational crisis. Jessica Anderson is not passive victim requiring rescue. She is actively conducting counterintelligence operation against hostile forces that identified her as threat to their activities. Through tactical communication channels, Jessica reports operational status directly to Admiral Morrison. Her voice carries professional calm despite tactical situation that would overwhelm most personnel. Admiral Morrison, this is Chief Warrant Officer 5 Anderson. I have identified hostile surveillance team and am conducting active counter-surveillance operation. Request immediate backup for apprehension of foreign intelligence operatives. Communication reveals that Jessica transformed from investigative target to operational asset, utilizing her special operations training to counter hostile action that threatened ongoing mission. Rather than requiring rescue, she is conducting advanced tactical operation that requires operational support. Admiral Williams coordinates tactical response, deploying special operations personnel to support Jessica's counterintelligence activities. Professional recognition of her capabilities guides command decision to support rather than rescue ongoing operation. But critical moment arrives that will change everything about Jessica Anderson's status and operational security. Enemy operatives, realizing their surveillance has been detected, initiate emergency extraction while attempting to eliminate Jessica as threat to their activities. Physical confrontation occurs in administrative building corridors, forcing Jessica to defend herself while maintaining operational security and protecting classified information. Professional combat training engages as hostile operatives attempt to neutralize her before she can provide intelligence that would expose their network. During struggle with enemy operatives, Jessica's uniform sleeve tears completely, exposing her left forearm. Hidden beneath administrative cover identity, clearly visible for the first time, intricate tattoo artwork becomes exposed to direct observation. Winged Death's head design in black ink with gold highlights, surrounded by 6 small stars. Beneath the skull, date inscription reads 15 March 2021, Operation Blackout Afghanistan. Additional inscription shows 160 SOAR, Night Stalkers. The tattoo represents posthumous honor, typically awarded only to personnel presumed killed in action during classified operations. Design and inscription indicate Jessica Anderson was supposed to be dead for 3 years, killed during helicopter crash in Afghanistan. Emergency Tactical Response Team arrives to assist Jessica's counter-surveillance operation, but their arrival coincides with tattoo exposure that changes everything about her operational status and identity. 6 admirals witness tattoo exposure directly as emergency lighting illuminates administrative corridor during tactical response. Recognition occurs simultaneously as each admiral processes visual evidence that contradicts everything they understood about Jessica Anderson's background and assignment. Admiral Morrison freezes mid-stride, staring at tattoo design that he personally authorized 3 years ago. As senior officer responsible for casualty notifications, he signed documentation, declaring Chief Warrant Officer 5 Jessica Anderson killed in action during Operation Blackout. Admiral Reeves freezes, recognizing intelligence operation, classification, and date that corresponds to failed mission she personally coordinated. Operation Blackout involved deep penetration reconnaissance that resulted in total loss of helicopter crew with no survivors. Admiral Chen freezes, identifying Special Operations Aviation Regiment insignia and mission details that he personally debriefed as catastrophic failure. Night Stalker's helicopter carrying 6 personnel disappeared during classified operation with no communication or recovery. Admiral Williams freezes, seeing posthumous honor design that she personally approved for families of personnel killed during classified mission. Winged Death's head tattoo with gold highlights is reserved exclusively for personnel who died in service to special operations. Admiral Torres freezes, recognizing personnel record information that he personally marked as killed in action. Jessica Anderson's death notification went through his office, with official documentation and family notification procedures completed according to military protocol. Admiral Cross freezes, identifying security classification and mission parameters that he personally investigated as operational failure with no survivors. Security review confirmed total loss of personnel and equipment during Operation Blackout. For 3 full seconds, nobody moves. 6 flag officers stand frozen, staring at tattoo that proves Jessica Anderson should be dead, killed 3 years ago during classified operation that they all remember as catastrophic failure. Then Admiral Morrison breaks silence that has settled over corridor like fog. That's impossible. That date, that operation, we lost the entire crew. No survivors. Complete loss. Admiral Chen steps closer, confirming visual identification of tattoo details. Chief Warrant Officer Jessica Anderson, 160 SOAR, killed in action, 15 March 2021. I attended her memorial service. Admiral Reeves provides intelligence confirmation. Operation Blackout was compromised from the start. Helicopter went down in hostile territory. No communication, no recovery, no survivors. We confirmed casualties through multiple intelligence sources. Admiral Williams adds personnel perspective. Families were notified. Death benefits paid. Service records updated. Jessica Anderson has been officially dead for 3 years. Admiral Torres provides administrative confirmation. Personnel file shows killed in action status. Death certificate filed. Official documentation complete. This is impossible. Admiral Cross provides security assessment. If she's alive, entire operation was compromised. Either she survived against impossible odds, or Operation Blackout was not what we thought it was. Jessica Anderson, still breathing hard from physical confrontation with hostile operatives, straightens her torn uniform and faces 6 admirals with professional bearing that reflects years of special operations training. Sir, she addresses Admiral Morrison formally, Operation Blackout was not complete failure. Mission required deep cover extraction and presumed death status for ongoing investigation of security compromise within Special Operations Command. Revelation hits admirals like explosive charges. Jessica Anderson didn't survive helicopter crash. She was extracted under cover of simulated catastrophic failure to investigate security threats that required her to be officially dead. Admiral Morrison stares at her. You've been dead for 3 years. How is that possible? Sir, helicopter crash was staged to provide cover for extraction and deep cover assignment. Investigation required complete separation from normal command structure and official status. Admiral Reeves provides intelligence context. Deep cover operations occasionally require simulated death for personnel protection and operational security, but those missions are compartmentalized above normal command levels. Admiral Chen recognizes operational implications. If Jessica Anderson has been operating under presumed death status for 3 years, her investigation must involve threats at highest levels of Special Operations Command. Admiral Williams understands personnel implications. Simulated death provides complete operational security but requires extraordinary authorization and compartmentalization. Admiral Torres realizes administrative implications. Official death status provides perfect cover identity but creates massive complications for operational support and mission coordination. Admiral Cross recognizes security implications. 3 years of deep cover investigation suggests threats to national security that required extreme measures for operational success. But even as admirals process implications of Jessica Anderson's revealed status, tactical situation continues developing. Hostile operatives who attempted to eliminate her are now in custody, but their capture provides intelligence about broader threat network that extends beyond immediate tactical operation. Jessica Anderson stands at attention. Despite torn uniform and physical evidence of recent combat, professional bearing reflects confidence and readiness despite revelation of classified status that changes everything about her assignment. Admirals, Jessica addresses the assembled flag officers. My investigation over past 3 years identified security compromise that enabled today's hostile operation. The threat network extends throughout Pacific Fleet operations and requires immediate tactical response. Her words carry authority and professional competence that administrative cover identity was designed to conceal. Chief Warrant Officer 5 represents highest enlisted rank in special operations, achieved only through demonstrated excellence and operational success. Admiral Morrison makes command decision that operational priorities require full disclosure and coordination. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, provide complete intelligence assessment. We need comprehensive briefing on threats identified during your investigation, but formal briefing will occur in secure environment with proper classification protocols. Administrative corridor is not appropriate location for discussion of special access program operations and national security threats. All personnel return to War Room immediately. Admiral Morrison orders. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson will provide classified briefing on investigation results and threat assessment. As group moves toward Pacific Fleet War Room, Jessica Anderson walks among 6 flag officers with professional bearing that reflects her actual rank and operational authority. No longer concealing identity behind administrative cover, she demonstrates competence and confidence appropriate for special operations personnel. Thompson, Walker, Rodriguez, and Davis follow behind, processing revelation that completely reframes their understanding of morning's events. Every suspicion they developed about Jessica Anderson's background was accurate, but operational security prevented confirmation until crisis-force disclosure. War Room represents controlled environment and for classified discussion of special access program operations and national security threats. Security protocols ensure protection of sensitive information while enabling coordination of tactical response. But return to War Room also represents moment when Jessica Anderson's transformation from suspected security violation to recognized special operations asset becomes complete. Professional recognition and institutional authority replace cover identity and operational concealment. The morning began with Lieutenant Jessica Anderson facing security challenges that threatened to expose her cover identity. Afternoon concludes with Chief Warrant Officer 5 Jessica Anderson providing intelligence briefing to 6 flag officers on threats to national security. Pacific Fleet War Room transforms into Command Center as 6 admirals and essential personnel reassemble for emergency classified briefing. Security blast doors remain sealed, emergency lighting creates harsh shadows across tactical displays, and communication systems operate at highest classification protocols. Jessica Anderson, no longer concealing her identity, stands at attention before 6 flag officers whose recognition of her true status represents complete operational transformation. Torn uniform sleeve continues displaying Wing Death's Head tattoo that triggered recognition cascade and revelation of 3-year deep cover mission. Admiral Morrison addresses the assembly with formal authority befitting crisis-level operational briefing. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, provide comprehensive intelligence assessment on threats identified during your investigation. Classification level is top secret special compartmented information, full disclosure authorized. Jessica moves to tactical display with professional competence reflecting years of special operations training and investigative experience. Her bearing demonstrates confidence and authority appropriate for senior enlisted personnel conducting intelligence briefing for flag officers. Admirals, Jessica begins, voice carrying professional clarity. Operation Blackout Extraction enabled 3 years of deep cover investigation into security compromise within Pacific Fleet aviation operations. Investigation identified systematic theft of classified technical data involving multiple personnel and foreign intelligence coordination. She activates secure display showing network analysis and evidence compilation. Primary target was identified as Captain Frank Morrison, Base Executive Officer, who has been systematically accessing and transmitting classified aviation technical specifications to foreign intelligence services for 18 months. The revelation hits the room like explosive charges. Captain Morrison, who was present during morning briefing and participated in Jessica's security investigation, represents insider threat at highest levels of base command authority. Admiral Chen steps forward, expression grim. Captain Morrison has access to all classified aviation operations, maintenance schedules, and technical specifications for Pacific Fleet helicopter assets. If he's compromised, the damage to operational security is catastrophic. Jessica continues briefing with systematic precision. Investigation revealed Morrison's financial irregularities beginning 20 months ago. Bank deposits totaling $430,000 from encrypted transfers originating from accounts linked to known intelligence operatives. She advances to next display showing surveillance evidence and communication intercepts. Morrison used his executive authority to access classified technical documentation beyond his operational need to know. He requested aviation maintenance manuals, flight operation procedures, and equipment specifications that his position doesn't require. Admiral Reeves provides intelligence perspective. If Morrison has been passing aviation technical data to foreign intelligence, enemy forces have detailed knowledge of our helicopter capabilities, limitations, and operational procedures. Jessica nods. Affirmative, ma'am. Investigation confirmed Morrison transmitted flight schedules, maintenance windows, and pilot training procedures to foreign handlers. Today's hostile operation against Pacific Fleet facilities was coordinated using intelligence Morrison provided. Admiral Williams recognizes implications for Special Operations security. Morrison had access to Night Stalker's operational schedules and maintenance requirements. If that information reached hostile intelligence services, Special Operations missions are compromised. Correct, ma'am, Jessica confirms. Morrison's access enabled foreign intelligence to target specific operations, including Operation Blackout. Initial mission compromise resulted from intelligence Morrison provided to enemy handlers. Admiral Torres understands personnel security implications. If Morrison has been operating as foreign intelligence asset for 18 months, every classified aviation operation during that period must be considered compromised. Admiral Cross recognizes operational security crisis. Morrison's position as base executive officer provided access to communication systems, personnel records, and operational planning for all Pacific Fleet aviation activities. Jessica advances to tactical assessment display. Investigation identified Morrison's communication methods and handler network. Foreign intelligence operation involves 3 additional personnel and support roles, including communication relay and financial coordination. But as Jessica provides detailed intelligence briefing, secure communication alert indicates immediate tactical development requiring command attention. Priority communication from base security, Admiral Morrison announces, reading encrypted message. Captain Morrison has been located and is under immediate surveillance. He appears to be conducting emergency communication with unknown external contacts. Jessica's intelligence assessment proves accurate in real time. Morrison's recognition that his network has been exposed triggers emergency protocols for foreign intelligence extraction and damage control. Admiral Chen coordinates tactical response. All base security assets will proceed to Captain Morrison's location for immediate apprehension. No communication with external sources permitted. But Morrison's apprehension represents only beginning of consequence cascade that Jessica's investigation enables. 3 years of evidence compilation provides foundation for systematic dismantling of foreign intelligence network and institutional accountability for security compromise. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, Admiral Morrison addresses Jessica formally, your investigation provides intelligence necessary for comprehensive response to security compromise. Special Operations Command Pacific will coordinate immediate tactical operations targeting Morrison's entire network. Jessica stands ready to support operational requirements with professional competence, reflecting her actual training and capabilities. Admiral Morrison, sir, investigation identified 4 additional targets requiring immediate apprehension. Foreign intelligence network extends beyond Morrison to include communication relay, financial coordination, and technical analysis personnel. Admiral Reeves coordinates intelligence operations. Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command will utilize Anderson's investigation to target networks systematically. Real-time intelligence enables coordinated response that eliminates threats before they can escape or destroy evidence. Admiral Williams provides special operations coordination. Naval Special Warfare Command will support tactical operations as required. Anderson's intelligence enables precision targeting that protects operational security while eliminating threats. Admiral Torres coordinates personnel security measures. Pacific Fleet Personnel Management will implement immediate security review of all personnel with similar access levels. Anderson's investigation provides framework for identifying additional security risks. Admiral Cross coordinates operational security response. Pacific Fleet Security will implement enhanced protective measures based on Anderson's threat assessment. Investigation results enable systematic improvement of security protocols. But tactical response reveals additional information that transforms understanding of Jessica Anderson's investigation and its broader implications for national security. Emergency communication indicates Morrison's apprehension during attempted contact with foreign intelligence handlers. Evidence recovered during arrest confirms Jessica's intelligence assessment and provides additional information about network operations extending beyond Pacific Fleet facilities. Morrison's communication equipment contained evidence of coordination with intelligence networks targeting multiple military installations. Admiral Morrison reports, Anderson's investigation identified regional threat network rather than isolated security compromise. Jessica provides strategic assessment. Sir, 3 years of investigation revealed coordinated foreign intelligence operation targeting aviation capabilities across 7 different military installations. Morrison represented one element of larger threat network, requiring comprehensive response. Admiral Chen recognizes strategic implications. If foreign intelligence has been systematically targeting military aviation capabilities, the threat extends beyond Pacific Fleet to national defense capabilities. Admiral Reeves coordinates intelligence sharing. Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command will coordinate with FBI and Defense Intelligence Agency for comprehensive response targeting entire network. Anderson's investigation provides foundation for national security operation. But even as tactical situation develops, formal recognition of Jessica Anderson's professional accomplishment and service requires institutional acknowledgement appropriate for special operations personnel who successfully completed 3-year investigation under extreme operational conditions. Admiral Morrison makes command decision, reflecting institutional recognition and professional respect. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, your investigation and operational performance exceed requirements for Special Operations Service. Your professional competence protected national security through personal sacrifice and exceptional dedication. The 6 admirals come to attention simultaneously, recognizing professional accomplishment that required extraordinary personal commitment and operational excellence. Officers, attention! Admiral Morrison commands. 6 flag officers snap to rigid attention, shoulders back, eyes forward, hands at sides in perfect military bearing. Professional recognition of exceptional service requires formal acknowledgement through military protocol demonstrating institutional respect. Admiral Morrison renders precise hand salute, followed immediately by Admiral Reeves, Admiral Chen, Admiral Williams, Admiral Torres, and Admiral Cross. 6 hands rise in perfect synchronization, honoring special operations personnel who successfully completed mission requiring 3 years of personal sacrifice. Jessica Anderson returns salute with professional precision, reflecting years of special operations training and institutional pride. Formal recognition represents validation of mission success and institutional appreciation for exceptional service under extraordinary circumstances. Professional development programs, like the courses Jessica completed, require continuous learning platforms, similar to educational technology, transforming how we acquire new skills today. Salute sequence concludes with recognition that Jessica Anderson's transformation from suspected security violation to honored special operations asset represents institutional capability for identifying and supporting exceptional personnel when operational circumstances require extraordinary service. But formal recognition establishes foundation for addressing consequences that morning's security investigation created for personnel who question Jessica's authenticity without understanding classified operational requirements. Admiral Morrison addresses consequences for personnel whose professional competence correctly identified operational anomalies while inadvertently compromising classified investigation. Senior Chief Walker, your professional assessment of Lieutenant Anderson's capabilities was accurate. Your recognition of special operations indicators demonstrates institutional expertise necessary for operational security. Walker accepts recognition with understanding that his suspicions were professionally sound, even though they complicated classified operation. Admiral Morrison, sir, Chief Warrant Officer Anderson's operational competence was evident through professional observation. Admiral Morrison continues. However, security investigation procedures require enhancement to distinguish between unauthorized access and classified operations, requiring cover identity protection. Thompson receives similar recognition for maintenance expertise that correctly identified Jessica's aviation background. Chief Thompson, your technical assessment was professionally accurate. Your recognition of operational aviation competence demonstrates institutional knowledge necessary for security evaluation. But Thompson's inquiry triggered security alerts that exposed classified operation to potential compromise. Professional competence created security risk that enhanced procedures must address. Chief Thompson, Admiral Morrison continues, maintenance personnel will receive additional training on special access program indicators to distinguish between security violations and authorized operations requiring operational cover. Rodriguez faces consequences for security investigation that followed proper procedures but failed to recognize special access program protection. Standard security measures proved insufficient for personnel operating under classified operational requirements. Staff Sergeant Rodriguez, Admiral Morrison addresses him formally, your security investigation followed established procedures. However, special access program operations require enhanced coordination between security personnel and classified operational management. Rodriguez accepts responsibility while recognizing that existing procedures didn't provide guidance for identifying authorized special operations personnel using cover identities. Davis confronts consequences for intelligence investigation that accessed legitimate classification information while inadvertently exposing operational compartmentalization that should have remained protected. Lieutenant Commander Davis, Admiral Morrison continues, your intelligence assessment correctly identified operational anomalies. However, special access program investigations require coordination with program management before initiating background verification. Professional competence that identified Jessica's operational background created security risk by exposing classified mission to unauthorized personnel. Enhanced procedures must balance operational security with professional security evaluation. But consequences also extend to hostile intelligence network that Jessica's investigation identified and enabled tactical response to eliminate before they could escape or destroy evidence. Morrison's network has been systematically dismantled, Admiral Chen reports. 4 additional arrests occurred simultaneously across 3 different installations. Anderson's intelligence enabled coordinated response that eliminated regional threat network. Jessica's 3-year investigation achieved strategic success by identifying and enabling elimination of foreign intelligence operation targeting military aviation capabilities across multiple installations. Admiral Reeves provides damage assessment. Preliminary analysis indicates Morrison's network accessed classified information worth approximately $2.4 billion in technical specifications and operational procedures. Anderson's investigation prevented additional compromise and enabled recovery of transmitted data. Admiral Williams provides operational assessment. Special operations missions compromised by Morrison's intelligence leak have been redesigned with enhanced security protocols. Anderson's investigation enabled protective measures that preserve operational capability. Admiral Torres provides personnel security assessment. Comprehensive review of personnel with similar access levels identified 3 additional individuals requiring enhanced security evaluation. Anderson's investigation provides framework for ongoing security improvement. Admiral Cross provides institutional security assessment. Enhanced security protocols based on Anderson's investigation will be implemented across all Pacific Fleet facilities. Professional security procedures will include special access program coordination requirements. But institutional changes represent only immediate response to security compromise that Jessica's investigation identified. Long-term consequences require systematic improvement of security procedures and operational protocols. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, Admiral Morrison addresses Jessica formally. Your investigation provides foundation for institutional improvement that extends beyond immediate threat elimination. Special Operations Command will implement enhanced security protocols based on your assessment. Jessica accepts recognition with professional understanding that mission success creates foundation for ongoing institutional improvement. Admiral Morrison, sir, investigation identified systematic vulnerabilities that require comprehensive response rather than individual accountability measures. Professional assessment recognizes that security compromise resulted from institutional weaknesses rather than individual failures. Enhanced procedures must address systematic issues that enabled foreign intelligence access to classified information. But Jessica's mission completion also creates opportunity for expanded operational responsibilities, utilizing her demonstrated competence and investigative expertise for ongoing national security activities. Admiral Chen coordinates future operational requirements. Special Operations Command Pacific requests Chief Warrant Officer Anderson for assignment to expanded investigative operations targeting broader threats to military aviation security. Jessica's professional competence during 3-year deep cover investigation demonstrates capability for additional operational responsibilities requiring special operations expertise and investigative competence. Admiral Reeves coordinates intelligence operations. Pacific Fleet Intelligence Command requests Anderson's expertise for ongoing threat assessment and security investigation activities requiring special operations, background, and investigative experience. Admiral Williams provides special operations coordination. Naval Special Warfare Command requests Anderson's assignment to multi-service investigation, targeting foreign intelligence operations against special operations capabilities. Professional recognition creates foundation for expanded operational responsibilities that utilize Jessica's demonstrated expertise for ongoing national security activities requiring special operations competence. But expanded mission requirements also reveal broader threat network that extends beyond Morrison's regional operation to national security challenges requiring coordinated response from multiple agencies and services. Next week's story features another undercover hero. Subscribe and ring notification bell so you don't miss epic payback coming. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, Admiral Morrison provides mission transition briefing. Expanded operational requirements involve coordination with CIA Special Activities Division for investigation of international intelligence networks targeting military aviation capabilities. Jessica accepts expanded mission assignment with professional understanding of operational requirements and institutional trust. Admiral Morrison, sir, I understand mission parameters and accept responsibility for expanded investigative activities. Secure phone alert indicates priority communication requiring Jessica's immediate attention for coordination of expanded operational activities. Priority communication for Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, Admiral Morrison announces. Operation Phoenix parameters require immediate coordination with Special Activities Division for mission briefing and operational planning. Jessica acknowledges communication while maintaining professional bearing appropriate for special operations personnel accepting expanded operational responsibilities. Admiral Morrison, sir, request permission to coordinate with Special Activities Division for operational requirements. Permission granted, Admiral Morrison responds. Chief Warrant Officer Anderson, your professional performance provides foundation for ongoing national security activities requiring special operations expertise. But final communication reveals information that establishes series potential for continued adventures involving Jessica Anderson and expanded operational responsibilities targeting international threats. Operation Phoenix involves coordination with multiple special operations personnel conducting similar investigations targeting foreign intelligence networks, Admiral Morrison explains. Anderson's expertise provides foundation for team operations requiring coordinated activities. Jessica's individual success becomes foundation for team operations, requiring multiple special operations personnel with similar backgrounds and demonstrated competence for expanded mission responsibilities. Phoenix Team Assembly, secure communication indicates, multiple special operations personnel with similar operational backgrounds and proven investigative capabilities. Coordination required for expanded mission parameters involving international security activities. The communication reveals that Jessica Anderson's successful investigation represents beginning of larger operational framework requiring coordinated special operations activities targeting international threats to national security. Final scene shows Jessica Anderson preparing for helicopter transport to Special Activities Division headquarters, professional bearing, reflecting confidence and readiness for expanded operational responsibilities. Helicopter sounds that initially triggered her recognition during morning operations now provide transportation for continued service. As helicopter lifts off from Coronado Naval Base, Jessica observes Pacific Fleet facilities from aerial perspective, reflecting her professional expertise and operational experience. Special operations training provides foundation for understanding strategic importance of successful mission and institutional capability. But aerial view also reveals ongoing security enhancements at Pacific Fleet facilities confirming institutional changes resulting from her investigation. Enhanced security protocols and improved operational procedures demonstrate lasting impact of successful mission. Jessica Anderson's story demonstrates that individual competence and professional dedication create foundation for institutional improvement and national security protection. 3 years of personal sacrifice and operational excellence enabled elimination of foreign intelligence threat while providing framework for enhanced security procedures. Professional recognition and expanded operational responsibilities result from demonstrated competence rather than claimed credentials. Mission success creates foundation for ongoing special operations service, requiring continued professional development and operational readiness. Morrison faces court-martial on charges of espionage, conspiracy, and treason. His foreign intelligence network has been dismantled, financial assets frozen, and communication systems compromised. Evidence from Jessica's investigation provides foundation for prosecution that will result in life imprisonment. Halden receives unexpected revelation during post-mission debriefing. His assignment to Pacific Fleet involved coordination with Defense Intelligence Agency for parallel investigation of same security threats that Jessica was investigating from different operational approach. Lieutenant Commander Halden, Admiral Chen addresses him privately, "Your assignment involved DIA coordination for security assessment activities. Your professional competence contributed to overall investigation success despite operational compartmentalization." Halden realizes that his confrontational behavior toward Jessica resulted from lack of awareness that they were both investigating same security threats from different operational perspectives. Professional competence created tension that operational coordination could have prevented. Base security procedures receive comprehensive overhaul based on Jessica's investigation and lessons learned from operational security challenges. Enhanced protocols provide framework for distinguishing between unauthorized access and classified operations, requiring cover identity protection. Personnel security training includes special access program awareness to enable professional security evaluation while protecting ongoing classified operations. Institutional improvement results from systematic analysis rather than individual accountability measures. As helicopter disappears carrying Jessica Anderson toward expanded mission responsibilities, Pacific Fleet operations continue with enhanced security awareness and improved operational procedures. Individual excellence creates institutional improvement, benefiting ongoing national security activities. The story concludes with establishment of series potential involving Jessica Anderson and Phoenix team operations targeting international threats requiring special operations expertise and investigative competence. Professional excellence demonstrated during Pacific Fleet mission provides foundation for expanded operational responsibilities. Jessica Anderson's transformation from suspected security violation to recognized special operations asset demonstrates institutional capability for identifying and supporting exceptional personnel when operational circumstances require extraordinary service and professional dedication. The narrative establishes that individual capability, when properly recognized and supported, creates foundation for institutional success and national security protection, requiring ongoing professional development and operational excellence. But final communication from Operation Phoenix reveals that Jessica's investigation identified international conspiracy involving multiple nations and intelligence services. Morrison's network represented one element of larger threat requiring coordinated international response. Phoenix team assembly complete, final message indicates. International operations targeting foreign intelligence networks, compromising military aviation capabilities across NATO alliance. Anderson's expertise essential for coordinated response. Jessica Anderson's story continues with expanded operational responsibilities, targeting threats that extend beyond individual installations to international security challenges requiring special operations expertise and professional competence for mission success.
These stories end here, but the journey continues. Many new episodes are waiting for you. And if you enjoy, please take a moment to like, subscribe to our EV Story channel and turn on the bell. See you in the next story.